Welcome everyone. This is Rahul Reddy. I head Career Launcher Bangalore, and we have with us Aditya Rao. Uh, he's the All India rank 37 and the Karnataka State rank 4 for CLAT 2025. So, firstly, congratulations,
Thank
and
you so much.
tell us tell us how you felt when you first got the rank. When did you check it? Late night or next day morning?
Actually, I got a message on a WhatsApp group saying, "Bro, results
Okay.
are out." And when I first saw it,
Okay.
I did not believe it because 11:30 at
Mm-hmm.
night, when it was supposed to come 2 days later, was something that was completely unexpected. But then, and when I calculated my score with the previous answer key, also, I didn't expect to get such a high rank. So when I opened the ranks sheet and saw my score and then my rank, I ran to my parents, shouted that I'm going to NLS Bangalore, and then we all at collectively at 11:30 at night was screaming in the house. So it was a really like an amazing experience that I think I'll experience that only once in my life because I don't think I'll write any competitive exams after this. But that was like
Well,
one experience that I would want to relive over and over again. It was truly
right.
special.
Well, we'll never say never again, so it might happen. But yes,
Yeah.
too too much into the future to think about. Right. So I think that's always been the dream. I think with all our Bangalore students, that NLS has been the dream. The special rank is a bonus, but the dream has always been like let's get to NLS types of that. And luckily, of course, we couldn't only attribute luck to a lot of hard work and dedication. Every year, a good bunch of students from CL Bangalore are getting to NLS, and this year also looks like the number is going to be fairly big. Right? I'm sure you're in touch with a lot of your friends and
Yes,
people you
sir.
studied
And
with.
the ability to feel at home also is another big part about the
Mm.
dedication and motivation to get into that college. A lot of it comes down to oh, I want to come back home. So there are a lot of other factors that come into play when you talk about dedication and motivation. So that goal seems less lofty when you put in the hours and put in the effort to get to there. So that is something that, especially when you visit for the exams, seeing the campus pushes you even harder to do better in the paper. So yeah, that be going to Bangalore, staying in Bangalore is something that feels very good. Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of roll the clock back a little bit. So, when did you first decide that, yeah, I want to pursue law as a career and I'm going to start preparing for CLAT and these exams?
Uh, when I wanted to do law was probably around the eighth or ninth grade. During lockdown, math was going terribly, and that I know that's something that a lot of people say that math. If you don't like math, go into law. But for me, it was more that okay, I know what I'm good at. I'm good at speaking. I'm good at writing. So what fits that this thing? So around eighth or ninth grade, that's when I started doing my research into what I want to choose after 10th grade. So when I did that, I found this as a career. And over the course of doing debates, doing MUNs, looking at moot courts, things like that, like school level moot courts, of course, but looking at that made me so interested in this whole concept. And because law is such a big field, overarching lots of concepts, so that each dimension of it seemed like a whole new aspect, whole new thing that I wanted to explore. So that sort of got me interested early on. And over the course of preparing for this, uh, like when I was in 10th grade, I was inspired by my seniors to take up CLAT. 11th and 12th graders, while they were preparing, I looked at them and I was like, yeah, I want to do what they're doing. I I saw people getting results. My seniors have got into NLS. So I'm like, okay, I want to continue that legacy. I want to be like them. I want to achieve what they've achieved. So that pushed me to work harder on CLAT as an exam. So yeah, it's been a long process over several years, and slowly, the passion for the subject has just built.
Wonderful. So, Aditya, you enrolled for the 2 year program at Career Launcher, right?
Yes, sir, from 11th grade.
So I think that's interesting point to kind of make that a very large set of the results year after year across India and of course in Bangalore also come from the 2 year program. So in case somebody is thinking that look, it's not a difficult exam, we can do it in a short period of time. I think it's scary. It's a scary misperception, and it's not a
Definitely.
crash kind of an exam at all. Hmm.
Yeah, and that first year helps you a lot in seeing what your competition is doing, seeing what other people are doing. So you in 11th grade, people have that attitude that okay, I can do whatever I want in this year, next year I'll do it. But then once you see people around you working so hard, that pushes you also. So even if you feel that okay, I can handle it in 1 year, when you see other people doing it, you think okay, maybe I can't. Because at the end of the day, it's a competitive exam. It's how other people are doing, and in the end it comes down to how well you've done relatively. So you thinking that you can do it in 1 year as opposed to seeing other people do it for 2 years makes a big difference in your motivation and your drive to do it. And the 2 year batch definitely helped me. My basics and my fundamentals that I learned really helped me along the way. Mocks, uh, even for mocks, the basics were really important. For the exam itself, since the paper was as such, basics and fundamentals became really important. So that in when you have a whole year to learn your basics and fundamentals and have another extra year on top of that to strengthen them, it gets much better.
Right. So uh, let's talk about the experience. I think you were at the Indiranagar Center of Career Launcher, right? So
Yes,
how
sir.
was the experience like?
Indanagar, I'm going to say it is the best career launcher branch in Bangalore. Uh, Deepa ma'am, first of all, is the probably the best center head. She has helped us throughout with mocks, advice, like sort of counseling also whenever you sort of needed it. So Deepa ma'am is your first interaction at Career Launcher Indanagar, and she's the best person to do that. Even when I enrolled the first time, she explained everything properly in a way that I felt like, okay, yeah, I can get this. If I put in the hours, I will be able to do this. I will be able to achieve. And obviously the faculty are just uh, career launcher faculty in general are just amazing. Every teacher, Animesh sir, Sridhar sir, Anand sir, they're all you yourself. They're all amazing mentors. And if I wasn't at CL, it I would not have got that much advice. And over the entirety of the 2 years, when I needed it, when doubts needed to be cleared, when mocks went badly, and I needed advice, things like that. Even after CLAT, when I was so scared. What are the results going to turn out? The answer key might not be how I wanted it to be. So when those fears came up, when those doubts came up, career launch was always there, and that is something that I'll be forever grateful for. And even the mocks are the closest you could have got to the paper. The variety in what questions that might come were also really amazing. So just career launch as a whole has just overall helped my journey tremendously. And I don't think without the teachers, without even Deepa ma'am, Manju at the center, I don't think I would have been able to get where I have.
Okay, that's awesome. Just a quick thing because I'm sure this video is going to be watched by a lot of students who are currently preparing as well as people who are thinking about preparing. So, what kind of small tips or short tips that you can give them? Ki, look, this is what you do, and this is what will make it click.
Okay, so one major thing that's there throughout the course of both the 2 years, and if you're thinking about doing it, is enjoying the process. The exam looms large. It is going to be a monkey on your back for the entire years that you're studying. But if you don't enjoy the process and just have so focused on the goals that you don't look at anything else here and there, it becomes so hard that it's honestly not worth doing at that point. So the main part about all this is just enjoying the fact that you're learning where you are. You're even if you're not doing better in your tests, just enjoy the process of it all. Because if you take too much stress on your head, then that's not going to get you anywhere. And as far as tips are concerned, practice, like maybe not daily work, but at least keeping up to date with everything that you're doing. just making sure that you're never losing touch with it is all that it is. And CLAT, at the end of the day, compared to other competitive exams, is more subjective. More things can go wrong here and there. There's no real direct variation to how much you study and how many marks you'll get. So that way, it's not worth just slogging so much to a goal without having a clear, like looking around and smelling the flowers kind of thing, right? So that is all I can tell you. The process is enjoyable. It's have had the most fun I've had in a long time in the last 2 months of prep. So that's the only thing I can say. That was what I think pushed me over the line, is because I enjoyed what I was doing. I didn't see it as a chore. I didn't see it as like, oh, I'm studying only for the exam. It was more of a enjoyable process for me.
I think
So
that's a
that's all.
wonderful point. That's a wonderful point. A lot of people miss out on that. I think uh, at the centers there is always a buzz, and of course 90% of the buzz comes from the students, because there is a certain enthusiasm and energy. I mean, without putting down anybody else, you're not likely to see it in an IITJ coaching center. You're not going to see this kind of a buzz, and you're not going to see the smiles and so on. So that buzz is part. And secondly, this is also in a way, it's not a lonely job. There is a social part to this learning,
Yeah,
right? So, which kind of
definitely.
leads me to the next question. So, how useful is it to have competitive but good friends working with you towards a similar goal? How important is that?
I think honestly, having a set group of people who are who are as serious as you, if not more serious as you, is honestly the best thing that you could have. Throughout the course of my preparation, I was surrounded by people who were 100% smarter than me, and I've definitely learned more from them than they have from me. And like people that are really intelligent, they might not have done well, but I'm so thankful to them. They are the whole reason why my prep was how it was. Things like discussions, you need a group to discuss it with, people whose reasoning is foundationally solid. Some people you learn how to reason from, some people you learn how not to reason from also. So that's also a good thing to have when you're discussing marks, discussing anything
True.
reasoning based. There are different, and you have to have different perspectives as well. How people think, you might think a certain way, and when you're analyzing it by yourself, you might think that, oh, that's the only way to think. But then having other people around to tell you that this is how I thought and this is why I got it right, that makes so much of a difference. It really helps. And secondly, for GK, bouncing questions off of each other, researching together, doing GK together makes, again, is another part of the making the process enjoyable. When you're with people whose company makes you a better person, that makes the whole process all the more better. So that way, having a strong social group, also connecting with your teachers as well, making sure that all of you as a group go and talk to your teacher, how do we proceed together, is a very big part of this. And honestly, like towards the last month of prep, I was in the center almost every day with all of these people. So we also motivated each other to come to the center and get the mocks done. And we also had a sense of like competition, that, oh, I beat you this time. Oh, last time I beat you by 10 marks, but this time you beat me only by 2 marks. So those kind of things happen, and it like honestly drives you to do better. It drives you to study more, and they'll like call you and say, what have you done this? And if I say no, then they'll be like, okay, and then they'll cut the phone, and then you're like, oh no, why haven't I studied that? So then again you'll go and then study. So it's a whole the process of having a set group of friends who will guide you, who will motivate you, who will teach you, is the best thing that you could do in your prep. Apart from like opening GK sources and studying the whole day, pinging off
Right.
questions of each other, learning from each other is extremely superior.
Right. So, one last point before we kind of end. A good support system. We talked about the center, the staff, the faculty, of course, the people that you study with. Two other aspects that normally come out. One is support from the family, parents backing you, and that is one. And second, the school. So, any points on the support that you got from the family and from the school?
Actually, I'm a science student, and this was mostly a decision of my parents. So I wanted to go to humanities because I knew I would pursue law. But I'm also grateful to my parents for pushing me to do science because it made me sort of forced to balance CLAT and studies at the same time. So that made like my life sort of more driven to do things rather than just sitting around doing nothing, saying that, oh, I have ample time, I don't need to do it. So schedule became pretty rigorous, but then I think that my work ethic is because of that itself. So I'm thankful for them for actually putting me into science. And in the beginning, it was a sort of like condition for my parents that top six NLUs or engineering. So, but
Okay,
then
that's nice.
that was that was probably because of lack of understanding about how the exam works and how everything is. But slowly, when more information they got to know, more understanding, they became so supportive. They would start looking up sources, sending me sources, sending me GK, sending me sample papers, and like over the course of the 2 years they got more and more supportive, and I am so grateful for them because they were like my emotional rocks throughout the entirety of the process. It gets really hard studying for CLAT, when especially when mock scores go up and down, when your performance starts to going down and then going up and then going down again, you need sort of stability. So parental support is extremely crucial, and I couldn't be more grateful to my parents for that. And school as well, they gave me exemption from pre-boards. My teachers were very understanding because having a science kid do CLAT is not something you see too often. So when I told them and I promised them that I'll do well in this exam, just give me some leeway, and they did, and I did do well in the end. So I hope I've made them proud as well. But the school did give me support. So all around, the support systems are really really crucial. You need to have support from your school so that your study you can focus your this thing on CLAT at least in the last 2 3 months. And your parents over the course of the 2 years, you need to have someone to talk to when things aren't going your way. You need someone to rant to. Your friends can only tell you so much. Your parents are the ones who truly understand you and know who you are. They've raised you since you were born, so they're the ones who truly understand how it is. So I am so grateful to them, and this wouldn't have been possible.
No, I'm sure they are extremely proud of you. So thank you so much, Aditya. Please convey my congratulations to your parents too, and
Yes, sir.
we will catch up in person very soon.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that's it,
Definitely.
folks. You've heard from Aditya Rao, and signing out. Thank you so much, and I'm sure people will hear your advice and take the right lessons from it. Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Neha, we can stop the recording. Okay. In fact, I think I've been reminded that I have to rush to catch the flight.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll catch up. I'll be back by day after in Bangalore. We'll catch up.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
In fact, I made the travel plan thinking that results will come on 9th, and then
So
they
they made
push
such
it
a
forward.
surprise. Yeah. Yes, sir. Have a
ठीक.
safe flight.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.